ladies and gentlemen, and all the viewers of the Zexon Amid YouTube Sports TV. Ladies and gentlemen, and that is my followers, that is in the entire world. It's a blessing to have you all and live and kicking. This time earlier on, I was here talking about the Champions League quarter-final second leg, and the teams that had won, that is the first leg, managed to progress, that is the next round. However, Arsenal made the biggest headline, beating Real Madrid home and away. In this new session, I think Arsenal has become one of the first clubs to beat Real Madrid home and away in one of the biggest knockouts of the UEFA Champions League. So that will be our spotlight as of this evening. Bypassing through the results that was in the UEFA Champions League earlier on in the quarterfinals. The first leg, Inter Milan managed to beat, that was Bayern Munich 2-1. And in the return fixture, Inter Milan drew, that was 2-2, meaning that it progressed, that is on an aggregate of 4-3. Barcelona managed to beat Borussia Dortmund 4-0 at their home stadium. And when they went to the Signo Iduna Park, they were beaten, that is 3-1. The biggest headline was Hugo Lasse scoring a hat-trick in this game and taking his tally, that is to 13 goals, meaning that Barcelona managed to progress with a huge aggregate of around, that is 5 goals to 3. The other game was PSG up against Aston Villa. PSG had won earlier at the Parc des Princes, that was 3-1, and this time it was beaten 3-2, meaning that it managed to progress, that is on an aggregate of 5 goals, that is to 4, meaning that they managed to progress that to the next round. However, yesterday it was the talk of the day when earlier on Barcelona were beaten, that was in the second leg by Borussia Dortmund, that was 3-1. Sehu Girassi scoring, that is a hat-trick in that game. The likes of Aston Villa also beating, that is PSG, and failing to progress despite of them having a variety of chances, and they would have rejected, that is PSG. The likes of Marcus Rashford looked very instrumental in that game. The likes of Ousmane Dembele looked very instrumental in that game, still on the side of PSG. However, he wasn't all that clinical and he did not score in that game. The likes of Aston Villa, the likes of Mark Ginn were very influential. Yuri Tillmans, Morgan Rogers, and even others, making sure that Aston Villa failed to progress, that is the next round. However, the display was massive, a reason being that even the fans themselves were very happy upon the success of this team, or the huge display that they managed to showcase on that day. My talking point today, I will be wrapping up, that is the game of Inter Milan up against Bayern Munich. Up to now, Harry Kane has not won any silver title. However, in the Bundesliga, they are comfortably leading with almost 6 points away from the chasing pack, or the defending champions, that is Bayer Leverkusen. So that could be his other chance of winning, that is the silverware. But in the Champions League, they were again ejected by they were again ejected by Inter Milan, courtesy of a massive performance from the likes of Lautaro Martinez, and the likes of Federico Di Marco, and the likes of Henrik Kanahaguru, and the likes of Henrik Mkhitaryan, the likes of the likes of Marcus Thuram, that is the son of the former legend, that is Julian Thuram. So Inter Milan has only lost one game, and that was in the group stages, beaten by Bayer Leverkusen, that was at the Bayer Arena. Since then, they have not tasted any defeat. We remember very well that Manchester City beat Inter Milan, that was on the finals of 2023, and Inter Milan last won, that is the European Success or European Championship, or that is the Champions League, in 2010, when they managed to beat, that was Bayern Munich 2-0. Earlier on, you remember very well when Inter Milan was under the stewardship of Jose Felix Mourinho, the man who calls himself the special one, or the man next to God. The biggest point will be Arsenal ejecting, that is Real Madrid. Few people saw it coming when Arsenal managed to thump, that is Real Madrid, 5-1 in aggregate, which has many talking points. Most of the fans of Chelsea, the fans of Arsenal, the fans of Manchester United, and even the entire football fraternity. When Arsenal was given Real Madrid, I think a scarcity of people thought that Arsenal would progress, but football sometimes is determined by results. Despite Real Madrid having the big names, the likes of Vinicius Jr., the likes of Jude Bellingham, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, the likes of Luka Modric, they felt that is progress, that is the next round. Earlier on, Arsenal beat them, that was 3-0 at their home stadium, which is the Emirates Stadium, where we saw English sensational midfielder, that is the big man himself, Declan Rice, a graduate of the Chelsea Academy, later on to West Ham, and then Arsenal buying him at £100 million. Many people were criticizing that is the amount of money Arsenal paid, but I think is defying that is the odds. Playing football, that's the odds, and the Englishman has caught life so easy at the Emirates Stadium, despite of them not winning a silverware. However, in performance, the team is performing better. Declan Rice, that was in the first leg, managed to score a brace in this game, in the game of Real Madrid up against that is Arsenal, coming in the 60, in around the 56th and even the 65th minute, showcasing the incense of the money that Arsenal ejected in him, and later on Merino, that is wrapping it up, making it a comfortable win where Arsenal dominated everything, and they would have won even that game earlier on in the first fixture around 5 goals. However, that was enough for the day. The talking point was the second leg, hearing from most of the fans, most of the Manchester United fans, most of the haters, and even the other critics of Arsenal Football Club. I remember, in all the clubs that are currently on this stage, it is Arsenal and PSG that have never won, that is this championship. PSG has reached the final once, that was in 2020, beaten by Bayern Munich, and even Arsenal reached on the final, that was in 2006, beaten by Barcelona. So this time, two teams have this Champions League, and the two teams don't have this Champions League. Arsenal got some injury setback when Gabriel Martinelli when that is Gabriel Magalhaes was injured and is going to miss for the rest of the season. We saw it as a big blow. However, because of the catalogue of defenders that Arsenal has, still had replacements. The likes of Kiwior are playing better. The likes of Julian Timber are playing some good football. And in the defense, this Arsenal team is well disciplined. So the talking point was yesterday when fans gathered, that is in a mammoth crowd, not only here but even in the social media, to those that love Arsenal progress further, and even to those that don't like Arsenal progress further. However, to my followers, I had given them that is one goal each. However, Arsenal went ahead and won this game comfortably, meaning that it ejected Real Madrid home and away, and becoming the first team that is in the Champions League that is to do so up against Real Madrid, more so in their Santiago Bernabeu. Remember, Arsenal has met Real Madrid for almost two times, that is in the Champions League, and in these 2 times Arsenal has managed to become victorious. Real Madrid has no win over Arsenal Football Club. Yesterday we had some notifications from the likes of Jude Bellingham, the likes of Vinicius Jr., the likes of Kylian Mbappe, stating that the game was not yet done until it is done, and we had to wait until the start of the whistle. The start of the whistle to showcase that Arsenal was very good in this game. It took almost Real Madrid around, that is 45 minutes, to have a shot on target. That is on the well-organized Arsenal defense, led by their goalkeeper, that is David Raya, a Spanish international and a Spanish goalkeeper, meaning that Arsenal were very disciplined. And I give a distinction, that is to Mikel Arteta, the coaching staff of Arsenal, for arranging such a wonderful team that knew the opponents they are going to play, that they are very fast, the likes of Vinicius Jr., the likes of Rodrigo, the likes of Kylian Mbappe, and they managed to keep them at bay, not being all that very lethal within the first minutes. Many football pundits had thought that Arsenal would go ahead and open up in this game, but for them, they knew what they had come to play, because even Arsenal had some couple of chances in this game, meaning it came knowing that it only just needed a goal to make, that is the deficit so heavy, that is for Real Madrid. And guess what? Arsenal got a penalty within the first half, and that is Bukayo Saka wanted to try a Panenka, but the Panenka laid out to be controversial, meaning that the total goalkeeper, that is Thibaut Courtois, managed to save it, killing Arsenal's fans' hearts, because they knew that scoring that penalty would give their margin that is ahead. However, Real Madrid breaking down this game, Real Madrid also got a penalty which was later on that is cancelled off after a push that is on Kylian Mbappe, thinking that Real Madrid would have gotten a penalty. However, it was cancelled off. At the restart of second half, Arsenal kept on creating many chances in this game, meaning that they would have scored even earlier on. However, around the 56th minute, around the 65th minute, that is Bukayo Saka, who had missed a penalty, managed to score a goal, a one-on-one with the goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois, and managed to calmly put the ball into back of the net, putting tears of joy, that is to the faces of Arsenal fans, that is in the entire world, and even putting sad eyes, that is to the fans of Arsenal Football Club, and even the critics who knew that Arsenal would be ejected in this game. But guess what? Within 2 minutes, after a mistake from Arsenal defender, that is William Saliba, Vinicius Jr. Used his pace and managed to get a ball from that is William Saliba and put the ball into the back of the net, making it that was 1-1. Since then, Real Madrid had majority of the ball position. However, Arsenal was very disciplined from the midfield, the legs of Thomas Partey, the legs of Odegaard, the legs of Bukayo Saka, the legs of Gabriel Martinelli, and even their star striker, that is Mikel Merino, looked very influential, guarded up by their well-organized defense led by William Saliba. The legs of Julian Timber were very hard, that is in the defense, and their goalkeeper, and they couldn't let Real Madrid break through, that is their defense. As Real Madrid was searching for the equalizer, it was caught on a counter-attack, and Gabriel Martinelli managed to put the last nail into the coffin, meaning that the hopes of Real Madrid of progressing, that is the next round of the Champions League, were burnt down. And now Arsenal have booked, that is a crash with, that is PSG, one of the teams that they managed to beat, that was 2-0 at their home stadium, that is the Emirates Stadium, in the group stages of the UEFA Champions League. But the talking point, PSG are saying that this is also their chance to shine, reason being that Ousmane Dembele has uplifted this team, that is the next heights, alongside that is his manager, that is Luis Enrique. So the fans of football, on the 29th, will be having, that is the biggest games, more so to showcase who is the king. That is on the 29th of this month. On the 29th of this month, we'll be having, that is Arsenal up against PSG, is one of the biggest headlines. The other game, we'll be having Arsenal alongside the PSG, and the other game will be Barcelona up against that is the PSG. So whoever wins those two ties will progress, that is to the final, to see who will emerge victorious. That is on the 31st. That will be in June, to confirm who is the king of, that is European football. So to my fans, I've broken it down, but Arsenal, the likes of Bukayo Saka, we are very instrumental in the game.